Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the live experience on Awakening with Amy Robeson. I'm so excited you are here. We got lots to talk about today. I'm really excited. And also want to just talk about something I don't normally talk about. So if you're live with me, say hello. Let me know how you're doing and how you're feeling, where you're tuning in from. And I can't wait to see that. Why is that doing that? Okay, awesome. So, okay. Sorry, I'm having tech issues. Tech has not been my friend this year. So welcome everyone. So how are you feeling today? And if you have been following along with the US election, I'm going to break one of my rules, but it's only because I think this will feel really good by talking about it first. So today's topic, we were talking about how to raise your frequency, how to raise your vibration. And here in the US, we had our election yesterday for presidency, right? And I don't typically talk about politics because it's not something I enjoy talking about. But I know that in the collective consciousness, there's a lot of heavy energy. There can be exciting energy. I've gotten lots of messages from different people just talking about how they're sad or overwhelmed or fearful. And so I wanted to just start off by talking about how important it is not to lean into fear and how important it is for you to trust that you live in a kind and friendly universe. And it doesn't matter if you are in the US or not in the US, this impact does impact the collective consciousness in different ways. And so if you are feeling sad or feeling overwhelmed, know that we're going to talk about how to raise your frequency today, and this will help with that. And if the election went the way that you wanted it to do, how you wanted it to, great. If it didn't, that's okay too. Just trust that you live in a kind and friendly universe, and that the collective consciousness can be very, very strong. And when the collective consciousness may have a heavy energy, and this could be for anything, it could be for an election, it could be for something that's happening globally, like the pandemic, or when a tragedy happens, things can have a collective impact on our collective conscious. And when that happens, we don't want to participate in the collective consciousness. We want to give ourselves permission to go within and separate our energy so that we know what is ours and what is the collective. And by taking responsibility for what is yours, you understand, and this can be on an intuitive level, on our subconscious level, that you don't have to be responsible for the collective energy. And you can also protect your energy by not watching certain things or consuming certain things. And I think that's really important as well. So hello, everyone. Welcome. So with that being said, let's talk about all the different ways that you can raise your frequency. And I already started talking about this just with the election piece, and that is it's important to separate your energy from others and from the collective. And you can simply do that by going within. So you can simply just like close your eyes, take a breath, give yourself permission to just really be in your heart space, center into your heart space, and breathe. The breath is a really powerful tool when it comes to raising your vibration. We can activate the cells in our body and bring in more oxygen. And when we bring in more oxygen and breathe from our diaphragms, it can help with grounding. And when you ground, you can raise your frequency because you're not in overwhelm or not overstimulated or not ungrounded anymore. And so Going within is going to be one way. Another way is breathing. I think the breath is one of the most powerful medicines that you can take control of. And I find that when I am purposely making time to breathe, having an intentional breathing practice, that I just feel better overall. And my mind feels more clear, which allows me to raise my frequency, allows me to feel more abundant, allows me to feel more centered. Now, do you have to do breathing exercises? No, you can literally just be in a mood or having a bad day or having a difficult conversation. You can reset with the breath. And when you reset with the breath, what ends up happening is you're giving yourself permission to receive. And I remember I was in this mastermind, and we all were getting coaching, and somebody that was receiving coaching was taking a very long time. And for my brain, I can see the problem, solve the problem really, really quickly. And this particular person was just asking the same question over and over and over again. And my body was just like, I'm done. Like, I'm absolutely done. And my entire body just went, like it had to have a sigh, because I've been holding my breath and trying to process everything that was going on. And the way that I required a reset was literally stop holding my breath, take a deep breath in, and relax and reset. And then I can let go of whatever it is that was annoying me or bothering me at that particular time. And so noticing if you are holding your breath as well when you're talking to someone, or if you're in a meeting, or if you're in a challenging conversation, this is going to not allow you to have that beautiful flow that wants to run through you. And so give yourself permission to breathe and notice if you're holding your breath. Tell me in the comments, have you had that experience where you're just like, oh man, I haven't breathed. I haven't like taken a deep breath in a while. Or when all of a sudden you do take a deep breath, you're like, oh my God, that feels so amazing. It feels so good. For me, it's one of those things. I've done all sorts of different breathing exercises. So breathe, 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 breathe. Another way to raise your frequency is to get outside. And getting outside, I think, is really important, because what ends up happening is nature is a powerful medicine, and it will heal you. It will gift you with lots of love and lots of abundance and support you. And Mother Nature wants to support you. And I think that going for a walk outside in nature is super, super powerful medicine. Another way to raise your frequency is going to be movement. Movement can be through exercising, going for a walk, moving your body in any fun way that makes you feel good is a great way to raise the frequency itself. It's for yourself. Now, for me, I like all sorts of different movements. I like to go lift weights. I like to do yoga. I like to do Pilates. I like to go for a walk. I like to have a spontaneous dance party. My daughter likes to show off. We go wiggle your booty, and that's just one of those things. It's like a cue to have fun. And having fun is another way to raise your frequency. Moving your body, getting in your body. This helps you get even more centered, helps you on your breath. You are going to loosen up and knock some of the dust off, some of the heaviness off that you might be holding on to. What is it called? Why am I losing my uplink on the ecstatic dance? Ecstatic dance is really a lot of fun as well. And ecstatic dance, you can get kids involved in as well. You just move your body however your body and however you are being guided to move it. Whatever sounds you want to make is also really amazing. Another way to raise your frequency, and tell me if any of these are resonating with you. Tell me if there is something that you're like, oh, I want to do that next. So, another way to raise your frequency and your vibration is through chanting and singing. When you sing, when you listen to music, it allows you to process your emotions. It's really beautiful. And that means, so let's talk about music first. So you might be guided to listen to sad songs when you're feeling sad because it helps you process sadness. And by processing your sadness, you can feel those emotions and let them go, and then give yourself permission to feel a different way, which then will allow you to raise your frequency. When you're in a good mood and you want to amplify that good mood, you can listen to music that makes you feel good, makes you feel happy as well. Let's say you're going through a breakup and you're listening to breakup songs all of a sudden. It's great. I think it's a great way to process what you are processing, to give yourself permission to work through it. And then that gives you permission to raise your frequency. Now, when it comes to chanting and singing is, I always remember my one of my first teachers telling me this. Chanting and singing is one of the quickest ways to connect with God. And you can say universe, divinity, creation, whatever sacred title you give that frequency. And when you are singing high vibrational chants or mantras or songs, this is going to connect you with that God source, that frequency within you. I know for me, anytime I'm having a character building moment or a character building chapter in my life, I realize that I have not been singing or chanting as much as I usually do. And so what I'll do is I'll do a reset and I'll pull out some of my favorite chants and some of my favorite songs so that I get back into the rhythm of that particular practice. For me, I'll go really heavy into certain chants and then I'll back off and I'll start listening to some, and I'm going to put quote unquote normal music, and then I'll go back to my chanting music. And so it just depends on what it is that you are into. What are some of your favorite chants? If you're watching this live, let me know. Someone said, yes, I agree with you. Breath resets everything. Yes. Inga said, I forgot to breathe. I forget to breathe often. I can't imagine you getting irritable. I do. Especially, it's not even irritable. It's more of sometimes when you're watching someone implode and you can see the problem, but they can't see the problem. And it's not my job to fix that problem. I'm like, oh, I want to say it, but it's not my place to say it. And so you gotta respect the spaces that you're in. So, yeah. Okay. Someone said, I love to dance around. Awesome. 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 Okay. So singing, dancing, chanting, breathing, moving your body. Another thing that you can do to raise your frequency is have play dates. We're adults. It's really important to go have a play date. And I'm not talking about a play date with other kids. I'm talking about go have a play date either with yourself or other adults where you are looking forward to doing something fun. I know the last week I went shopping with a friend and it was just fun. Like there was no agenda. We just went shopping and it was great because I got to find Christmas stuff that I've been looking for over a year. And I was like, awesome, this is out and I'm so excited. And I'm not a big go and shop type of person. And so that was a lot of fun. Doing something that you look forward to and giving yourself permission to also be in the moment once you get there is really important, because oftentimes once looking forward to something can be a bigger dopamine hit than the actual thing itself. And so sometimes people can be disappointed or their expectations aren't met. And so when you're there, ask yourself, how can this get better? How can I have more fun while doing this? And how can I give myself permission to just be present and enjoy the time that I am having or get to have in this particular moment? Enjoy it. Give yourself permission to actually enjoy it. Another thing that you can do that can help raise frequency is sitting and doing visualizations of future possibilities that make you excited and that you're actually experiencing. And so, what do I mean by that? Let's say you are wanting a job promotion. You can sit and visualize you receiving that job promotion. And while you're receiving that job promotion, you're feeling all the excitement, all of the joy, hearing what the promotion entails, seeing yourself celebrate with your friends and family, and then seeing yourself in that promotion, living it out. All these little tiny details. Your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and fiction. And so by doing visualizations of future possibilities of things that you want to manifest, they can one, assist you in raising your frequency, also assist you in actually manifesting that very thing, which is really, really powerful. They've done study groups in the past where they'll do control groups. One group, imagine, and this is a basketball study, I believe. So the basketball study had 3 groups. One group that completely only visualized shooting hoops, making the hoops, doing that. Another group where they just practiced, no visualization, and another group that did neither. The group that did neither did the worst. The second group that did better than the worst group was the ones that practiced, but the group that did the best at actually shooting scores was the visualization group, and they never picked up a basketball to play or to practice. They just visualized it every day. And so it's really powerful when we do these types of visualizations. Another way to raise your frequency is through meditation. And so you can do visualizations or guided meditations that can bring you into different things. And we have lots of those available through our sacred gifts. So if you're interested in having some guided visualizations, you can go to theamyrobeson.com/free. And we have 20 plus free healings on there that are guided visualizations that can support you in raising your frequency. Because when you do guided visualizations and you meditate, what you're doing is you're slowing down. You're giving yourself permission to receive. You're giving yourself permission to let go, to decompress, also to receive answers to your prayers, to receive guidance. And when you give yourself permission to get visualizations or do silent meditations, because silent meditations are just as powerful as well, or just listening to music. Meditating in general is going to raise your frequency, because what it ends up doing is it ends up, one, decompressing you, and 2, gets you into your heart. And that allows you to start leading your life through your heart and bridging your inner and outer world through the heart. I know when I first started meditating, it was transformative. So transformative, because I was dealing with a lot of chronic pain at the time. I cracked my tailbone for the second time in my life. I was walking with a limp for over a year. I was taking pain pills, and I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. And within a very short period of time, from starting to meditate daily, I was able to get off my pain medicines. My emotional pain disappeared. I stopped walking with a limp, and I started feeling really, really good, because I started receiving guidance. I started working through some emotional pain that was just like sitting there lingering in the body. And when you have emotional pain, it lowers your frequency, it lowers your vibration until you address it. And sometimes we can address it through meditation. Sometimes we can address it through therapy. Sometimes we can address it through doing different types of healings. You can address emotional pain, physical pain, trauma, all sorts of different things in all sorts of different ways. But the main thing is you got to address it. at some point in time, you're going to have to feel these emotions. You're going to have to address that pain. And once you address it, once you feel it, once you let it go, you make space for the things that you are meant to be making space for. And that is really important as well. Someone said, yes, my chronic pain through meditation. Yep. Sorry, I read that wrong. Yes, I manage my chronic pain through meditation. Yes. I know for me, if let's say I'm having a flare up, or I'm having just, um, uh, I'm having some pains, the breath, what we talked about earlier, breathing and being with it, but also just giving myself permission to just be in meditation is going to help me process my pain in a different way as well. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Inga said, I give you permission to mingle and help with my problems anytime. Thanks, Inga. I I love dancing while cooking and singing while painting. Ah, I love that too. Awesome, awesome singing and dancing. Awesome. Okay. How else? Oh, working with your favorite spiritual tools can help you raise your frequency. So let's say you're wanting to work with crystals. Um, Crystals help raise the frequency a lot because they work on your emotional, physical, spiritual, mental, and an inner child as well. And so working with crystals is really helpful. Let's say you like working with cards, or let's say one of your spiritual tools is to paint. Any sort of activity that you really enjoy doing and enjoy playing, do it. It helps raise your frequency. If it's cooking, do it. If it's cleaning, do it. For me, I love doing all that stuff, but I love trimming my plants and watering them and repotting them and rearranging them if it makes sense to rearrange them. Doing and having hobbies is a part of the human experience, and it's a part of you choosing how you get to live your life, and how you are choosing how to have fun, and how you're choosing how to spend your time. If you want to spend your time um, in your mind all the time, where you are battling something, find a hobby that allows you to decompress and let go of any heavy thoughts that are not supporting your journey. Not every thought of yours is true. Most of them are not. The ones that are true, lean into them. The ones that aren't true, that keep you stuck, that keep you feeling unworthy, let them go. Find something that supports you in raising the frequency and having more fun. What are the bodies? Someone's asking this. So the bodies is something I teach inside of Sacred Awakening, inside of the Akashic Records. So you have your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, inner child, and ego. Those are the core bodies that I teach inside of Sacred Awakening, and it's something that I'm going to be talking about in my book that's hopefully coming out next year. Awesome, awesome. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, another way to raise your frequency is to talk to people that you love. Spend time with people that you love. Spending time with them can look different for everybody. Maybe it's spending time on Zoom or on video chat if you live far away from them, or making trips, or if you're local with one another, spending time that way. If you haven't talked to a friend in a while, you've been thinking about them, send them a message, send them a text, send them a hello, reconnect. Also, building community helps foster and fosters connection and love, and also can help raise your frequency. I loved when there's a special on Netflix, and it was about the blue zones and the centennials, people that are living to 100 and older. And one of the big takeaways for the blue zones were they were having community. They had community, and they loved being in community with one another. And it's a great way to have longevity as well, is to be a part of a community and make friends and do all sorts of fun stuff as well. Let's see. Another way to raise frequency is to work with the elements. So you can, one, work with water. Water can hold all sorts of emotions and frequencies itself. And there's been many studies with talking to your water or writing messages on your water. And so if you want to just tell your water, I love you, or write love on your bottle, and that's going to infuse and it's going to assist in supporting raising your frequency. They did a really cool study where they've taken images of water and what it looks like depending on the music or depending on what words are being spoken. And they've done this also with rice, where a class would go in and they would say hateful things to one rice bowl of rice, and then they would say loving things to another bowl of rice. And the hateful words onto the bowl of rice, that molded, it got rotten really quick. And then the loving one, where they were speaking loving words to that particular rice, would there's no mold, it wasn't going old, it still looked good. And so know that when you are speaking kind words, you're helping raise the frequency. And this is part of the air element because you're speaking them. If you're thinking it, it's going to be a part of you as well. And so the words that you say do matter, and you can work with the elements to help raise your frequency. You can also work with fire, like fire transforms, and fire is beautiful, and fire is powerful. And working with that particular element through crystals, or let's say through a bonfire or through candles or anything like that, that can help raise your frequency. Also, working with the breath is going to be the air element. Meditating is going to be working with all of the elements. Going outside and putting your feet on the ground, grounding, that's the earth element. But you can work with all of the elements, and it's going to help raise your frequency as well. So there's many ways. I think I can actually go on for another 30 minutes, but I'm not. So with that being said, which way do you want to raise your frequency? Comment below. Let me know, what way would you like to raise your frequency, or which ways sound the most fun? Also, if there's a topic you would like me to cover on our next live experience, comment, leave me a message. I'd love to hear from you. I love taking questions as inspiration because it's really helpful. And then we are going to do our next live next week, Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 11 a.m. Pacific. So we will see you on the 13th at that time next week. And if you are streaming this after the replay and you have an idea, send it on over. I'd love to hear from you. So, all right, my friends, I look forward to seeing you on the next live experience, or just catching you on our next recording. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Take care and be on the lookout. We are going to be having some very amazing holiday flash sales coming up here towards the end of the month, and I can't wait to share those with you all. So, all right, friends, take care. Bye.